Hello there, Star Wars fans, and welcome to a new fan fiction. What if Obi-Wan and Anakin went together to Palpatine's office to confront Palpatine and Windu? It's gonna be a fun one. I enjoyed writing it. I hope you enjoy listening to it. If you do, or if you feel kind enough, please just consider hitting the like button, hitting subscribe, and leaving a comment. What's the next what if you want to see, and what did you think of this one? I'd love to know. Let's converse in the comments. Alright, let's get right into it. Obi-Wan was walking away from General Grievous. The cyborg leader of the Separatists was now dead, and the war should be coming to an end. But yet he felt uneasy. He took a moment to feel into the Force, to feel Coruscant, to feel Anakin. Obi-Wan felt Anakin. He felt his despair, his pain, his confusion, every emotion bouncing around Anakin, just waiting to explode out of him. Obi-Wan felt it and knew he had to go to him. Immediately, he went to Commander Cody, retrieved his lightsaber, and informed Cody he was leaving. Cody was now in charge of the Utapau battle. He got in his ship and traveled to Coruscant, hoping to find Anakin in the Jedi Temple. And upon arriving at the temple, he sprinted to the council chambers. He could feel Anakin. He felt like a time bomb waiting to go off. Obi-Wan ran into the chambers and found Anakin facing him, like he was about to leave. Obi-Wan, what are you doing here? What about the battle on Utapau? Anakin asked. Cody is in charge. I felt a shift in the Force. I felt you, Anakin. What's going on? Obi-Wan asked. Anakin stared at him and said, We have to go to Palpatine's office. He revealed to me that he is the true Sith Lord we've been looking for, and Master Windu took a group of Jedi to go arrest him. But I have to be there, Obi-Wan. I have to, he exclaimed. Obi-Wan had a grave look of despair on his face now. Palpatine, he muttered. Yes. Okay, let's go. But one more thing. Anakin, why did he reveal this to you? He wants me to join him, Obi-Wan. He says it's the only way to. And Anakin trailed off. We do not have time for secrets, Anakin. This is life and death for us and the Republic, said Obi-Wan. He said he was the only one that can save Padme from dying in childbirth, Anakin finally said. I see, Obi-Wan replied. Those two words accounted for years of confusion about their relationship, finally clicking together in Obi-Wan's mind. We will handle this situation with Palpatine, and after that we will do whatever we can to protect Padme. Anakin nodded, certainly not fully convinced, but more relaxed than before. They knew it was time to go. And they sped over to Palpatine's office. They could see the flashing of purple and red from outside. The battle was coming to an end. Kenobi and Skywalker parked their speeder and ran as fast as they could up to the Chancellor's office. As they strode in, Windu was backing Palpatine into a corner of the now shattered window. The cold night breeze was hitting all four of them as time stood still. Both Palpatine and Windu were shocked to see not only Skywalker, but Kenobi. Still, Palpatine had to try to execute his plan. Anakin, don't you see? The Jedi are taking over, Palpatine yelled. The oppression of the Sith will never return. You have lost, Windu said as he raised his lightsaber. Wait, Anakin and Obi-Wan said nearly in unison. Palpatine thought, could they both turn? He must stand trial. I need him, Anakin yelled. He's right, Master. This is not the Jedi way, Obi-Wan said. Either Mace Windu didn't hear them or he just didn't care. He was clearly determined to end this, once and for all. With a look of anger, he began to swing his saber down to Palpatine, and this is how the next few seconds would go down. As Windu swung his saber down, Kenobi and Skywalker both ignited their sabers, but they wouldn't cut off Windu's hand. Rather, they simultaneously blocked his saber. Windu pushed against the sabers as he was caught off guard. But so was Palpatine. He needed Anakin to aid in killing Windu in order to truly turn him. Kenobi, once again, got in the way of everything. And while the Jedi were focused on themselves, Palpatine shot a blast of lightning at all of them, sending all three stumbling backwards as he then floated out of the window, down to an emergency hatch in the rounded roof. He always had a backup plan. This was an inconvenience, but he would still be able to turn Anakin if things went right for him. As he landed down into his escape ship and headed for the place, he would try his plan again. He called all stormtroopers. Execute Order 66. Mace Windu stared at Anakin, lightsaber still ignited. "What have you done?" he asked. "The Chosen One will destroy the Sith." "What a joke," he exclaimed. "We did what we had to do to protect you. Protect the Jedi," Anakin said. "How would you have defended yourself to the Senate, Master? The Jedi would have been cast out," yelled Obi-Wan. And Windu replied with, "And the influence of the Sith over the galaxy would be no more." In reality, all three of them had their points, but this would have to be settled another time. Suddenly, all three Jedi felt a ripple in the Force, a ripple of darkness, a ripple of death. With a look of confusion, they knew they had to immediately go to the Jedi Temple to find out what was going on. And as they left the office, about 15 clone troopers ran up to them and pointed their blasters at them. "Stand down, troopers. We are your commanding Jedi, and we were here to arrest the treasonous Chancellor," Mace said. "The only ones accused of treason are the Jedi. Execute them, men," said the commander of the group. And the clones opened fire at the Jedi. It was a bit of a challenge right away to fight off 15 clones, but these were perhaps the three most powerful Jedi on Coruscant, and after a few minutes, all the clones were dead from deflected blaster fire or lightsaber cuts. The Jedi may not be getting along at the moment, but they were still extremely powerful. "How could the clones be after us so soon?" Obi-Wan asked. "I fear Palpatine may have more influence over them than we think," Windu replied. And the three sped towards the temple, and in the hour or so that had passed since Palpatine escaped, a lot had happened. Clones were now beginning to march up the stairs of the temple, as the three Jedi got into range of being able to see it. Thousands of clones from the 501st Legion organized to the temple. Anakin and Obi-Wan were in one speeder, and while Windu was in another, when Anakin spoke up to Obi-Wan. "Obi-Wan, I fear I may know where Palpatine is. He's the only one who truly knew about Padme," Anakin said. "I understand. Take us there," Obi-Wan said, and he alerted Windu that they would be following a lead on Palpatine. Windu said he would go to the temple to help fight or evacuate any remaining Jedi. Anakin and Obi-Wan flew and landed outside Padme's home. The lights were on, but no one was seen nearby. Anakin had tried calling Padme, but no one had answered. And now, the two got out of the speeder and approached the entrance when it all happened. Palpatine walked out, holding Padme in the air by her throat. Ah, how unsurprising. Master and apprentice still side by side. Anakin, my boy, this could all have been prevented had you just followed your destiny. But now, my friend, you must choose your destiny. Choose who you save. Padme or the Jedi? Padme had just gone unconscious as Palpatine continued to choke her. Then he gave an evil smile and flicked her over the edge of the balcony to the ground of Coruscant. "No!" Anakin exclaimed as he sprinted to the edge, reaching out his hand, barely catching her in the Force. He would now have to slowly raise her up as Obi-Wan and Palpatine engaged in battle. Anakin began raising her up, trying to focus on not dropping her as he heard sabers clashing in the background. Obi-Wan just had to last a little bit longer, Anakin thought. Padme was so close, and finally, after what felt like forever, Anakin had her back up in his arms. "Padme," he asked, panicked. "I'm okay, Anakin. I'm always going to be okay, as long as you're here. Now, go help Obi-Wan. He truly loves us, Anakin. He trusts us." And as Anakin rose to help Obi-Wan, listening to Padme, believing in Padme, he snapped out of his daze where he was focused only on her, and he saw the horror. Palpatine stabbed Obi-Wan through the gut, and Obi-Wan fell to his knees. Anakin stood there. He should have been paralyzed with sadness and with fear. But instead, he felt rage, hatred, and anger, and he let them flow through him like blood. "There you go," Palpatine exclaimed. "Feel the dark side flow through you. It is your destiny, Anakin." He turned to Padme, where she looked at him and gave him permission. "Do it." Anakin Skywalker charged forward, eyes blazing with rage, as he faced off against Darth Sidious. The Dark Lord stood before him, a twisted smile on his lips as he taunted the young Jedi. "Your anger has consumed you, clouding your judgment and leaving you vulnerable." Anakin snarled, his lightsaber whirling in a deadly arc. "You killed him," he growled. "You killed Obi-Wan, and now I will do the same to you." Sidious chuckled darkly. "Oh, Skywalker, you truly are the perfect apprentice. So full of fury, so easy to manipulate." Anakin roared in that fury, charging forward with a reckless abandon, and Sidious met him, blow for blow, his own lightsaber flashing in the dim light of the chamber. The two combatants clashed in a ferocious battle, their weapons going against each other with a shower of sparks. Anakin's rage fueled him, his attacks growing more frenzied, more accurate, with each passing moment. But Sidious was a master of the dark side, his own powers growing stronger with every blow. He taunted Anakin relentlessly, his words striking at the young Jedi. "Skywalker, a mere puppet dancing to my every whim, soon to be my apprentice." Anakin snarled, once again, redoubling his efforts with a fierce intensity. He didn't care about the consequences, didn't care about anything except right now avenging Obi-Wan, avenging the Jedi, protecting Padme from this monster. Anakin had broken through. He'd seen Palpatine now for what he really was. He'd promised that only he could save Padme, but Anakin was realizing that he was behind every assassination attempt, including the one just a moment ago. Their lightsabers clashed again and again, sending waves of energy rippling through the air. Anakin's rage was a palpable force, his attacks growing more wild, more unpredictable with every passing moment, but not unpredictable for Anakin, unpredictable for Sidious. But Sidious yet was powerful, experienced, and with a wicked grin, he finally landed a blow on Anakin's leg, sending him tumbling to the ground. And as the young Jedi lay there, gasping for breath, Sidious stood over him, his own lightsaber poised to strike. "It's over, Skywalker. You can't defeat me. Bow to me, become my apprentice, or I will kill you and kill Padme with that child." Anakin was not having this. With a sudden surge of energy, he called all of the Force to him as the Chosen One. He sent Palpatine crashing into the ceiling above him, and then threw him back into the floor with a ferocious push. "I'll never give up," he said. "Not as long as I draw breath." Anakin's rage burned brighter than ever, but it was controlled, his attacks growing more fierce and determined with each passing moment as the two locked sabers again, Sidious now clearly having the disadvantage, backing up slowly as Anakin continued to strike at him. And in the end, Anakin's rage won the day. Sidious didn't win with Anakin's rage, but rather Anakin took advantage himself, and with a final blow, he drove his saber deep into Sidious's chest after cutting down his saber, watching as the Dark Lord's body slumped to the ground in a lifeless heap, that evil smile still on his face even in death. But breathless now and exhausted, Anakin stumbled backwards, his own wounds bleeding profusely, and he collapsed to the ground. But he knew he had to get to Obi-Wan. He ran over to his fallen master, who was clinging to the final moments of life. He smiled up at Anakin. "I am so proud of you, Anakin. Now, you must protect your family. Save Padme, save the child, and save Anakin Skywalker. I love you." And with that, he died. Anakin went over to Padme, crying, and the two embraced. They knew what they had to do. This was not over. The Jedi were falling to the clones. So Padme and Anakin, over time, would go to the Senate now and explain everything. Padme would explain what Palpatine had done to her, and she would then lead the hearing with Anakin by her side. They would elect a new chancellor quickly, Bail Organa, and he would order all clones to stand down. The Jedi would slowly regroup, those at least that were remaining. Very few council members, but those that were there included Yoda and Mace Windu. And at the temple, Anakin was at the center of a council hearing. The council now knew that he was married to Padme. They also knew that he had the chance to kill Palpatine in his own office. He didn't, and that led to thousands of Jedi deaths, including Obi-Wan. But the council acknowledged he eventually did kill the Sith, fighting through what Anakin thought was the only way to save his wife. Anakin and the council would agree that it's best, though, that he leaves the order. He was not expelled, but rather it was in their mutual interest to just have Anakin go down his own path, at least for now. They would go to Naboo, Anakin and Padme, with Padme still as a senator, but they would raise their children on Naboo, and with Padme having a lot of her time taken up as senator, they would raise their children with the help of Ahsoka Tano. That's going to be the end of this story. There will not be a part 2. You can make up a part 2 in your own mind if you'd like. But yeah, that's how I wanted it to go down. Let me know what you think. I had fun writing this one. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed writing and talking through it. I love doing these fan fictions. I love doing these videos. And before I do them, I usually make a video kind of centering around what the fan fiction's going to be. Yesterday, very late at night, I made a video proving that Obi-Wan kind of knew that Anakin and Padme were together. So go watch that one for proof. I thought it was interesting. It's from the Revenge of the Sith novelization, which I love. So go check that out. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the support. Truly, truly love it. And I will see you in the next video.